Thank you, Vice Chair Maloney, for holding this hearing. This is an interesting topic, and I look forward to our conversation this afternoon. Inequality has been a hinge of American politics, and indeed something of a hinge in all democracies for as long as democracies have existed, and with some good reason. The concentration of economic power can be as dangerous as the concentration of political power. Unfortunately, the debate about inequality, like far too many debates these days, can easily be swept up into a partisan exercise of talking past each other. We could spend our entire time, or we could spend entire days for that matter, haggling over whether inequality is best understood as something that involves unequal opportunity or instead involves unequal outcomes. Or indeed, if the latter, we could argue for hours about whether and how much it is even a problem, given that almost every facet of modern life, from air conditioning to airplanes, can be counted among the blessings of intentionally unequal benefits, the unequal benefits of free enterprise. Inequality is such a large concept that it's very difficult to tackle in a single hearing. That's why I commend Vice Chair Maloney for organizing today's hearing on measuring inequality, and for inviting such an excellent panel of witnesses to talk to us, people with a lot of expertise and insight. The subject of data measurement techniques is at once narrow enough to keep our discussion focused and hopefully technical enough that even Congress can set aside political temptations and simply drill down on some very important questions. For instance, how exactly should we define income for purposes of measuring inequality between rich, poor, and middle class? How should we count government transfers, like the Earned Income Tax Credit for lower income workers? As the scholarship on inequality measurement has progressed, which technical details have survived peer review scrutiny and which remain to be worked out before we can reach some type of academic consensus? These are not the questions that will necessarily lead cable news political talk shows. That's why they're exactly the kinds of questions the Joint Economic Committee should be taking up. Even the best policies involve trade-offs. Our economy is growing. And today, our economy happens to employ more people than it ever has before. But it has, in fact, been a long slog out of the Great Recession, much longer for some, regrettably, than for others. If the data really can afford us a clearer view of how the costs and benefits of economic growth are being experienced as we move up and down the economic scales, as we move up and down the income spectrum, that is the type of analysis we should all insist on getting and insist on making sure that we get it right. So thank you again, Madam Vice Chair, and to the witnesses that we're going to hear from today. I look forward to hearing from you.